So we've got a giant 15 kilogram shoe haul from CNFANS. As you can see right here, we've got 6 different shoes we'll be going through. If you guys want to pick up any of these shoes, they can be found on my spreadsheet in the link below. There's over 2,000 items in it, so I definitely recommend check it out. And for those that haven't signed up to CNFANS yet, I'd recommend do it on my profile. Doing this, you guys get $130 worth of coupon codes. Also, make sure to comment down below which is your favorite pair of shoes in this video. There are a lot of interesting pairs, so I'm excited to see what people have to say. Anyway, let's get this video started with the first item being a pair of Jordan 1s. And the colorway I've got here is a pair of Jordan 1 fragments. This is a very clean and simple shoe. The only difference with this pair is they have the fragment logo on the heel. Anyway, looking at the shoe, they've done a pretty good job on the materials. All the details like the Jordan 1 logos around the shoe are on point, and they've also got that hourglass shape. One downside with the shoe is I think the materials are a little bit cheap. And second thing, there's also a lot of stitching errors. Overall, this isn't a bad batch of Jordan 1s, but when it comes to the actual details, they're pretty cheap. And that would also make sense since this is a pretty budget batch. And personally, I would not recommend it. I'd just stick to LJR. Anyway, I'm going to give this pair a 6.5 out of 10. Meaning I would not go out of your way to buy this pair. Now the second shoe I'll be unboxing is a pair of CPFM Nike Dunks. Now right now most of you guys probably thinking of the CPFM flea market Dunks, and I can confirm this is not the pair that I've got. Here I have just the CPFM Dunks, and this is a very funky looking shoe. As we can see looking at the shoe, they have a weird muddy sole. They've also got a triangle pattern all around the shoe and have a very nice leather material. And comparing the two shoes side by side, we can see they both look different. This pair on my right has a pair of brown laces, and the other thing is the right pair doesn't actually have the Nike logo. And yes, of course, they've also included the bag. Anyway, personally, I actually really like the look of this shoe. Now, I have no clue what I'm ever going to wear with this, and I probably will not make a fit. But for what they are, I think they look good. Overall, I'm going to have to give these shoes a 9.5 out of 10 for the reason that the seller's done an amazing job in getting this pair right, especially considering how many details are on it. And for those guys who want to experiment, I would recommend to pick this pair up. I would definitely be interested to see what fits you guys make with them. Now, for the third pair of shoes, I got a pair of Jordan 4 Oreos. This is a very simple shoe, which also looks really clean. Now this pair here is more of a budget batch, and I pretty much just bought them to test out to see if the quality was good or not. And to be honest, from the outside, this shoe actually looks good. All the small details like the cage are going with the flow. The leather is nice and tumbled. They've got the 6 holes under the wing. The back is rounded and not flat. And lastly, the back tab flicks up. Now the first flaw I found with this is that the tongue is massive. I don't know what is up with it. It pretty much looks like an elephant ear. And they also didn't do a very good job on the Jumpman. And then when you go to feel the inside of the shoe, it feels very thin. There is zero padding in there at all. And lastly, this bubble feels like it's on its last legs. But to be honest, these shoes aren't terrible. It's just the more you look at them and the more you wear them, the cheaper they feel. So for those guys planning on copying a pair of Jordan 4s, I would just cop the better batch. It's not worth it to get budget shoes that aren't the best quality. Anyway, I'm just going to give this pair a 5 out of 10 because they are literally in the middle. Nowhere else of putting it. Now for the fourth shoe, we did a pair of Bapestas. Now if you guys watched my last video, you would know I had a pair of Bapestas. And this was probably the best batch I've gotten for a very long time. And the reason why I'm making such a statement of this is because this pair only cost me 30 bucks. These are probably one of the best budget shoes I've ever bought, competing with VT batch Dunks, which are also the greatest. Anyway, taking a look at the shoe, you can see they got that patent leather material on point. Looking at the Bapes logos, you can see they are pretty much everywhere. They haven't missed out on a single one, even on the lace holes. And by the way, if you guys did not know, Bapestas are also one of the most comfortable shoes ever. On the inside of the shoe, they double layer it with another piece of foam, and this just makes it feel like you're walking on clouds. Now this pair isn't as comfortable as the one I got in the other hole, but that's just because of the style of the shoe. One being made out of patent leather, it makes them hard to walk in, and they've also got a weird leather inside which the other pair do not have. Anyway, I'm giving these Bapestas an easy 10 out of 10. Once you guys get a pair, you'll understand the reason why I say these are the best shoes. For the second to last pair of shoes, we got a pair of Dunk SB Supremes. And personally, I think it's one of the most fire releases of 2023. The amount of detail put into this shoe is amazing. As you can see with the close-ups, they've done a great job on that canvas material. The suede is really nice and buttery smooth, and definitely changes color when you brush your finger over it. All the SB details are on point, like the fluffy tongue and also the thick inside. Overall, this is a very clean shoe. If you guys are looking for a pair of Dunk SBs, I'd definitely recommend to get this colorway. Absolutely fire and also very unique. I'm giving these an easy 10 out of 10 once again. And for the final pair of shoes, I had a pair of off-white Jordan 5s. Once again, this is another one of my favorite shoes of all time. Just like the other shoes, the seller's done a great job in getting all the details on point. Taking a look at the shoe, you can see they got that canvas material on point, which also has fraying around it, which is what they're supposed to look like. You can see they've also got that off-white writing, which is placed on circles, which which are transparent. All the Nike logos also seem to be flawless. And of course, you've also got that yellow sole. And finally, this pair also has a reflective tongue, which I think looks really cool. And yes, for those wondering, it also does come with the off-white tag and also this weird lace thing, which I took off. Once again, this can be another easy 10 out of 10 considering there are no flaws, and it's one of my all-time favorite shoes. If you guys haven't picked up this pair of Jordan 5s yet, I'd definitely recommend to cop them. It's an insane collab and they also look really lit. Anyway, that pretty much wraps up this haul. As you can see to the left, the giant shoe wall is finally complete. Yes, this does go all the way down to the bottom and all the way up. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. I hope you have a great day. Peace out and bye.